Everybody, welcome. It's a big day for ATSC 3.0 here at the NAB show. Have a seat. We still have a few spots. A big announcement coming. My name is Dave Arlen, and my role was just to make sure you're quiet. So you're quiet, so we're ready to go. And we're going to start. I'm going to introduce Ann Shelley. Ann is Managing Director of Pearl TV, which has helped to organize the Phoenix model market. There's a lot of information about that right behind you. So without further ado, Ann Shelley.
So it's a pleasure and exciting to be here today. As Dave just mentioned, I'm Managing Director of Pearl Television, but I'm also a board member of the Advanced Television Systems Committee. And today we've achieved a landmark development in the transition to the new digital standard, and that is the future of television, ATSC 3, or as we call it, Next Gen Television. This is a moment that should not go unrecognized. Next Gen will deliver access to vastly more innovative services for broadcasters. All you have to do is look around you on the show floor today. Everything that this is about is here. So I encourage you to see the great things that NAB has done to pull this together. In terms of who we are that are bringing this news to you in terms of this announcement, it's Pearl, it's members, it's great partners we have in the Phoenix model market, Fox Television, NBCU, Univision, and the PBS public television stations, but also SpectrumCo. We have been working collaboratively over the many months to bring you an announcement, and I believe that Dave is passing out that announcement. We just put it on the newswire that we will be launching 40 markets in preparation for televisions and other devices that will be available in 2020. So we're moving fast. These top markets will begin to transition this year, and I'm pleased to tell you that television and device manufacturers see the future. They are engaged with us, our partners in Phoenix, Samsung, LG, Sony. They're ready and they're engaged, and they will be bringing compliant 3.0 sets to the market in 2020. So this conversion of Next Gen and its extraordinary wide access will excite the American public and continue the virtuous cycle and drive even more development. Our members are not doing this alone. We are working closely with one another. I know I've said that a lot, but it's true. And so this transition, though, is going to require our entire industry up and down the line to think creatively and to work together with your engagement. So I would like to congratulate all of the companies that are here that have been part of this effort. There's many listed in this document, in this release, but there's many others that have not been. And I would also like to thank the ATSC itself. I know Mark Richards here, the president, and also recognize the new president, Madeline Noland. And finally, I think it's important to recognize the National Association of Broadcasters. I want to shout out to Sam Matheny. I hope he's here. He's been working tirelessly with his team at NAB alongside all of us to make this a reality. So I want to thank Sam and the NAB. And with that, I'd like to introduce John Haines, who is the CEO of SpectrumCo and been very much a partner working with all of us to make this happen. John.
Thank you, Ann. We wouldn't be here without the efforts of a lot of people, but Ann has really stood out. She's really pulled a lot of people together to do a lot of great work. So just to give you, there's a big announcement today, right? What's behind the big announcement? What's the hard thing we've been trying to do? We've been trying to figure out how to convert some stations to 3.0, take them essentially offline from 1.0, and find homes for all of that programming on the remaining stations. So to put that in context, we've been looking for ways to take all the people who are here now and fit them into these seats. It hasn't been easy, but I think we figured it out. So a little over a year ago, Commissioner Carr observed and wrote these words: Our country's greatest advancements have developed free from the heavy hand of government regulation. Now, if you want to know what the heavy hand of government regulation is, just open the Code of Federal Regulations to the section that regulates broadcasting. He wrote those words in the context of approving the use of ATSC 3.0 by broadcasters, which is a huge, huge advance. Believe it or not, some people thought it was controversial to allow broadcasting to adopt modern technology. It's mystifying, but that's the case. Anyway, today we announce what is the most important upgrade of the television broadcasting infrastructure ever. It is a transformational change. Broadcasters are going forward into a future defined by intelligent networks and internet protocol. This upgrade of the television broadcasting system is a direct dividend of that vote a little over a year ago to allow broadcasters to innovate. It's a direct dividend from the release of what is really just one small regulation in that sea of regulations of broadcasting. And with that small degree of regulatory relief a little over a year ago, look at the dividend that has already happened. It is happening today. Broadcasters, large and small, public and private, across the country from coast to coast, have agreed to a massive, coordinated, next-generation technology rollout. Working with SpectrumCo's founders, Sinclair and Nexstar, our partner Univision, the Pearl companies under Ann's steady leadership, APTS, PBS, and many, many, many other broadcasters, literally dozens of broadcasters across the country. We have done it together in a little over a year. We have a system, we have a plan, and we have a schedule. Commercial rollouts start this year, and as we roll them out, we're already beginning planning for the second wave of markets. Relying on the next year, also relying on the work that we're doing in Dallas with our partners, rolling out having rolled out a single frequency network. We'll be doing testing and exploring new business models and new services. So I want to join Ann in closing and in thanking Mark Richer for terrific work over the last 20 years and his supremely talented leadership, and congratulate my friend who I've known a long time, Madeline Nolan, on taking the reins at ATSC, another supremely talented leader. We're happy to have you, Madeline. Thank you. Ann?
So with that, I'd like to introduce Gordon Smith, President and CEO of the National Association of Broadcasters.
Thank you. Thank you, Ann, and welcome to everyone here at the NAB show. Thank you for coming. I hope you sense the energy already of this show, and it's better because you're here. America's broadcasters are on the cusp of a revolution, as you've heard, in television. Next-gen TV, known as ATSC 3.0. It's interesting to me, as a side here, my people at NAB kept correcting me and saying it's 3.0, and my media people said no, it's 3.0. So whatever it is, it's called Next Gen TV, and we're very thankful that it is here. There are so many people to thank and to recognize. Hundreds of brilliant engineers and dozens of companies are making significant investments to bring this product into living rooms, laptops, and smartphones of consumers. Many of those bright minds are in the audience today at the ATSC Ride the Road exhibit. Most everyone here already knows about the benefits of Next Gen TV, which can provide even more brilliant pictures and immersive sound and better experiences for viewers. The many companies invested in TV broadcasting are committed to a better television service for both our viewers and our advertisers. Broadcasters across America will utilize the advanced capabilities of Next Gen TV to delight our audiences into the future with the best entertainment while performing a valuable public service with breaking news and information. But one of the most compelling features of Next Gen TV will be the life-saving alerting functions that will give our nation's first responders the ability to use the broad reach of local television to keep viewers informed during emergencies. Our members' news departments will come to rely on the advanced capabilities of next-gen TV as a resource to forge even stronger connections with the citizens that we service and serve every day. The very first next-gen deployments in Santa Barbara, Phoenix, Dallas, Cleveland, Raleigh, and near Washington, D.C. are leading the way, but today's announcement that the top 40 TV markets are being targeted for upgrades over the next few months is surely welcome news to the consumer electronics industry. I remember Gary Shapiro saying to me, if you guys don't take this up, it's not going to happen, and we want it to happen, and it's happening. And so those of you who have been to the great CES show, you know that our brethren on the receiving side of the broadcast signals are also eager to play a role in next gen. They also serve on the Advanced Television Systems Committee, which created 3.0. So I'd like to recognize Mike Bergman, Senior Director of Technology and Standards for the Consumer Technology Association, to share the consumer technology viewpoint on today's news. So Mike, take it away.
It's a hard act to follow. Thanks for the kind introduction. It's a pleasure to be here today. CTA, the Consumer Technology Association, has been an active participant in the process to adopt a new over-the-air broadcast transmission standard. Along with NAB, we are supporting the test station in Cleveland, and our members are assisting with trials in other cities. We're extremely pleased with the strong industry effort to voluntarily launch next generation TV from broadcasters and technology companies alike. Today's announcement that stations in 40 top markets will roll out next-gen TV services is welcome news for CTA members and for consumers. A new research study from CTA tells us that antenna usage is on the rise, with 31% of American households using an antenna to pick up content. And current owners say they like the simplicity of use, the ease of installation. Viewers are most interested in breaking news, local weather and traffic, and these are all content that can be watched with an antenna. Additionally, a survey CTA conducted with Pearl TV tells us that consumers are excited about next-gen services, especially picture quality, streaming integration, pause and resume. It's a little demo. Pause and resume, and interactive on-screen guides. These are all good news for the launch and adoption of next-gen TV. Our members are working hard on the development of reception devices optimized for next-gen TV signals, and we anticipate seeing integrated 4K Ultra HD TVs, gateway receivers, and portable devices at CES 2020 in January next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, and I want to invite you all to the next CES show. And where you're going to see this all demonstrated, but to really make it complete, you got to have the bookend to come to the next NAB show. So, free cheers for both shows, and we count on each other. We need each other. So, thank you, Mike, for being here. And of course, none of this would be possible without the encouragement and support of the Federal Communications Commission. And so I am especially delighted to welcome the FCC Commissioner, Brendan Carr. He's a particularly bright bulb at the Commission. And Brendan, we're thankful that you could come and share your perspective on the importance of next-gen TV. And we're very mindful that this wasn't unanimous, but it won. And we're profoundly thankful for that leadership and that vision that made it possible, for allowing broadcasters to voluntarily make this move to the new broadcasting standard. The great Honorable Brendan Carr.
Thank you, Senator, for that very kind introduction. And earlier it was talked about this cumbersome book of the Code of Federal Regulations. And if you actually parse through that, there's a little known provision that lets you settle controversial issues at the NAB show by a pure show of hands. And there's an emerging debate that I think we should settle here, which is 3.0 versus 3.0. Now, I don't want to get cross with anyone that has a dog in the fight. I'm a 3.0 person. So if anyone is interested in 3.0, at least for my speech being the right way of doing it, we can vote by a show of hands for 3.0. All right? And then who wants 3.0? All right, so one person. 3.0 it is. Only for the speech. Don't get too excited. But it's really great to join you and be back at NAB show here in Las Vegas. This is truly, I think, an exciting and transformative time for broadcasters. And I think one of the biggest reasons for that is what we're discussing at this event right now, which is ATSC 3.0. And now I know the term 3.0 does not exactly roll off the tongue. I know it doesn't sizzle. We can probably rest assured that no one burned through their marketing budget when they came up with the term. But what we're talking about is actually very exciting technology that can bring new and creative services to market. So I think it's great that we're focusing on it at this event today. As I see it, ATSC 3.0 is part of a broader shift that we're seeing towards next generation connectivity. One that's going to usher in a new wave of innovation and opportunity for Americans. You see it on the wireless side with the build out of 5G networks. You see it a couple hundred miles above us with a new generation of low Earth orbit satellites that are getting ready to launch. And you see it across the country as well, with fixed broadband providers upgrading and extending their networks to support new use cases. And now, up to now, a lot of the buzz around 3.0 has been tied, rightly so, to the promise of next-gen TV. And looking around the show floor today, hearing some of the announcements from this event, you can certainly see why that's the case. The new standard will bring 4K and Ultra HD video to the airwaves. It will enable broadcast TV signals to be delivered right to your smartphone or tablet. And it will usher in a more interactive, accessible, and personalized experience for the viewing public. And these new features aren't just exciting for their entertainment value. They also have the potential to vastly improve public safety. They have geo-targeted information that can be sent directly to first responders, multimedia Amber Alerts that can provide the public with more accurate and complete information during times of crisis. And now, at last year's show, I spoke about the importance of broadcasting during emergencies and why the FCC must continue to remove needless regulations that divert resources away from what broadcasters do best, which is serving their communities. And that's why it's also important, as was mentioned, that the FCC authorized broadcasters to start experimenting with 3.0, giving you the freedom to innovate, a freedom that your competitors and many others in the tech sector already enjoy. And so when I think about the ways broadcasters can use that freedom to innovate, one use case stands out to me. ATSC 3.0 as a new and competitive broadband pipe. The technology has the potential to deliver 25 megabit per second data stream to Americans all over the US. As an IP-based standard, 3.0 will enable broadcasters to leverage the same protocols that we use today in our broadband networks. Now, while it's hard to predict all of the consumer applications or business cases that could benefit from this new broadband pipe, there's already buzz around a few. Take autonomous vehicles, where 3.0 could play a pivotal role. It could send out targeted map and traffic data or provide large fleet-wide software updates to vehicles. For IoT, smart ag, telemedicine applications, 3.0's low-band spectrum could provide an efficient means of communicating with devices over a wide area. For 5G, it could help augment coverage or add capacity by shifting data off of cellular networks. And for consumers, it could present a new choice for downloading data, video, and other content directly to your device. In fact, we're already seeing interesting work in all of these areas. In Lansing, Michigan, a PBS affiliate located at Michigan State University applied for an experimental license to use 3.0. They're researching ways to provide rich media content to households that currently don't have a broadband connection. They're also integrating 3.0 with the university's IoT research, including automotive applications, and exploring use cases from education to telemedicine to smart cities. In North Carolina, the university system established a multi-purpose research center for 3.0. The center will be a hub for training and testing the capabilities of 3.0 for emergency responders, state agencies, students, nonprofits, and other organizations. It will leverage the expertise of a variety of stakeholders, including broadcasters, technologists, app developers, cybersecurity experts, to help realize the benefits of 3.0 for public safety institutions. Last May, for example, broadcasts were able to use 3.0 to transmit and receive a 911 dispatch, the first successful transmission of its kind. And this is in addition to other trials that are already underway. In Phoenix, Pearl TV and others launched 3.0 testbed, where broadcasters can experiment with this new standard. In Santa Barbara, which has been hit by wildfires in recent years, broadcasters are testing the delivery of highly localized news and information to a variety of devices. So 3.0's benefits will extend beyond the commercial space to public safety. For instance, many fire stations still receive notices through analog means, like paging, and their queues can get overwhelmed during times of crisis. Broadcasters are already working with fire stations to see how 3.0 can reduce the time it takes to notify the departments without sacrificing the security and the resiliency of the network. Now, as with most transformative shifts, the possibilities of this one-to-many broadband pipe are difficult to predict today. But what is clear is this: broadcasters are already exploring innovative new applications that are well outside their traditional comfort zone of delivering over-the-air television. So I'm glad that this FCC has been working to remove the outdated regulations that only made it harder for broadcasters to innovate and to compete in today's media marketplace. So while 3.0 may not have the same brand recognition yet as one of your hit TV shows, I think the American public are going to soon see tremendous benefits from this technology. So I want to thank you again for the invitation to join you at this event and for letting me offer a few words on the future of 3.0 as a new broadband pipe, in addition to next-gen TV. I look forward to learning more about this during this year's show and hearing from you about the steps we can take at the FCC to support the good work that you're already doing. Thanks again for letting me join you.